autonomic nervous system, three multiple choice question, remaining 9 questions matching A, sympathetic, B, parasympathetic. So what is the meaning of the dual innervation? Most the tissue and organs, like visceral organs, GI, and heart, innervated by what and what? Sympathetic and parasympathetic. So if anything answer is innervated by somatic and autonomic, is false. So if one organ, you have to innervated either somatic or autonomic. But in autonomic has to be sympathetic or parasympathetic. So they always kind of have anti each other action. What organs, tissues innervated by ANS? Smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and glands. So everything except skeletal muscles. Okay. And what a cranial nerve have 4 of them carry parasympathetic motor impulses. When we talk about the sympathetic, parasympathetic, we all talk about the motor part. Because sensory part is no sympathetic, parasympathetic, they just come in. But whatever we control the smooth muscle contraction of the GI or increase the contraction of the cardiac muscle, we all talk about the motor. So what nerve 4 have a parasympathetic motor impulses? 3, 7, 9, 10, also their name. So you're going to see the nerve and their name, and one is not. Okay, you can see, look at there. And compare contrast structures. So I'm comparing is this. Just give you some example. For example, cell bodies of the preganglionic neurons. In the sympathetic is T1 to L2. In the parasympathetic is cranial nerve S2 to S4. So it's a cranial sacral segment or outflow. So you need to know both. Just you study those questions, you really need the overall picture. Because if you remember just correct one, you forgot the incorrect one or others, and sometimes you have hard time to pick the best answer. Okay, axon preganglionic neurons, if it's short, is sympathetic. If it's long, is parasympathetic. Are we good? Okay. And in which system the axon of the postganglionic neuron tend to be short? Parasympathetic, right? So there is one is long, one is short, and one is short, one is long. So sympathetic, parasympathetic, just opposite each other in a way. In which system the ganglion in this division located near or within the wall of the visceral organs, effectors? Parasympathetic. So we call it terminal ganglion. So they are either on the GI wall or near the organ. Okay. And that is an easy question. And which stimulation results rest and digest? Parasympathetic, like paralyzed. Okay. And in which division cause the pupil dilation and also alveolar dilation? Sympathetic. So fight and fight, we need oxygen, we need more lights. Okay. What system stimulates the GI activity? Parasympathetic. Okay. Which contains the rami communicantes? Sympathetic. I showed you the picture. And those questions actually will be asked in the 241 again. Very similar question, like this one, first one, second one, the third one, again in the your 241. And definitely it's always there, okay? And this one maybe not in the 241. This is also pure anatomy. So in ANS, axon, the preganglionic neurons have a myelin sheath, regardless sympathetic, parasympathetic. So 2 divisions, they all have a preganglionic neuron. Nerve fibers have a myelin sheath. The axon postganglionic neuron in both divisions, sympathetic, parasympathetic, no myelin sheaths. So you may not see this question in the 241, but other than that, a lot you're going to see it even in the 241. Okay, what's happening is your study guide has a little bit different answer about the question about the different frame, the way to frame the question number 2. So let's look at the number 1. Upper respiratory, anything reach to the pharynx. So anything below pharynx is the lower respiratory. Okay, and then the number 2 question. In your study guide, I didn't really update your study guide. So what's happening in study guide said, what is it means you have gas exchange capacity. All I'm asking is you kind of very clear conducting zone. You just have like a trachea, so you have the structure like a trachea, and then the bronchi, bronchioles, and finally reach to the terminal bronchioles. That is a conducting zone. And that conducting zone, no gas exchange, because conducting zone has no alveolus. Okay? And the respiratory zone, starting respiratory bronchioles, alveolar ducts, alveoli, alveolar sac, they all belong to the respiratory zone. Because they are alveoli, so therefore we get the gas exchange. Anytime you see the bubbles, you get gas exchange. Okay, so that's why I asked you to think about which portion you can have gas exchange. Respiratory zone, including respiratory bronchioles, alveolar ducts, alveolus, alveoli sac. Okay, anything with alveolus, something like that. So, okay, what organ functions as a passenger way for the air and the food? Easy question. Pharynx. Okay, and what structure about the number 4 epiglottis? Not just one single question. So if you need a little bit study, go back to the lecture. So epiglottis is elastic cartilage first. Okay, epiglottis during the talking, speaking, and so epiglottis is standing upward. So it's all upright or straight or vertical. Open the air flows or entrance to the larynx. But during the pass of the food or swallowing, and your epiglottis is flex or bend over. So it's make the cover of the larynx. Okay, so you need to study a little bit more than just one sentence here. Structure and function of the trachea also a little bit kind of study a little bit more, because there is one wrong sentence, one false sentence. Trachea only conducting air, okay, air only. And the structure is made of incomplete cartilage, okay? And then you have the lining, you know, epithelium, we already learned in the unit 1, pseudostratified columnar. One important thing is the trachea always anterior to the esophagus, okay? Never can be behind esophagus. And if you really want to know detail, trachea is from larynx to the bronchus, so C6 to T1. So C6 T1, but I don't think I have that detailed C6 to T1. Okay. The question 8 should be followed 5. So start with the question 8. The bifurcation of the trachea into bronchi, there is an internal ridge. What's the name of this internal feature? Carina. Okay, I mentioned this is a carina. You're going to learn again in the future. Very sensitive, induced cough reflex. Also, abnormal of the carina may indicate carcinoma or other disease. Okay, so come back here. And the number 7, which primary bronchus, which side, right or left, which bronchus is shorter, wider, more vertical? right. So right primary bronchus is a shorter, wider, and more straight, like vertical. So left is longer, wider, more horizontal. Okay. Go back to the number 6. Number 6, if you remember those two, those are more critical, but you can also read a little bit more on your lecture notes. From the airway change, okay, first out, all those bronchi, bronchioles, first out, they get smaller. Okay, that is just like common sense. So bronchioles just getting smaller and smaller, so branches off. But along this change is the cartilage decreases. Once reach to the bronchioles, disappear. So no more cartilage on the bronchioles. Instead, smooth muscles, amount of smooth muscle increases. So around the bronchioles is a smooth muscle support that bronchioles. Epithelial tissue in general is just getting shorter and shorter. So from the columnar into the cuboidal and finally into the lungs is always flattened, squamous. So you can read through there, but there is one sentence wrong. I purposely point out some questions leave there, but you should really read through there. Okay. Number 9, one question. Each primary bronchus carries the air to each lung, and each secondary bronchus carries the air to each lobe. So there are 5 secondary, goes to 3 lobes on the right, 2 lobes on the left. Okay, each tertiary bronchus carries the air to the each segment, bronchopulmonary segment. So I have one question here. Number 10 question is refer the 4 layers of the respiratory membrane. So the oxygen from the alveolus has to pass alveolar wall, or type 1, type 2 alveolar cells, or simple squamous epithelium of the alveolus. So all means the same thing. Second layer is the basement membrane of the alveolar wall, or epithelium. The third layer is the basement membrane of the endothelium of the capillary. So you move to the capillary now. The last layer is the endothelium of the capillary. You're going to see clearly stated the question. So one sentence is right. 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer. So that should not get any problem. I think I forgot one question, okay? It's about the type 1, type 2 alveolar cells. So you may want to go back. Type 1 is for gas exchange, simple squamous. Just this is alveolus, most of them type 1. Few cells type 2. During my lecture, I told you to highlight type 2. Type 2 called the septal cells secretes surfactant, decreases the surface tension of the alveolus. So I mentioned the type 1, type 2. Diaphragm, again, A, B, C, D, E. There is one sentence is false. So first out, diaphragm is a skeletal muscle. Okay. Although diaphragm has a smooth muscle property, some of the property, such as where breathing in, breathing out is kind of semi-conscious or unconscious. But if it's a skeletal muscle, means we can survive in the water, so we can hold up your breath. So that is the diaphragm. Nerve, phrenic nerve, made of C3, C4, C5. The thoracic volume, diaphragm contraction means diaphragm lowers or decreases or flattens out. So therefore increases thoracic volume or lung volume or intra-alveolar volume is our bottom line, increases volume. Okay. Question 12 and 13 easy. I just memorization. Okay, straightforward memorization, easy. Okay. And what caused the decrease in the lung volume during normal expiration? And that one, students missing that question. So pay attention here. And during the normal expiration, the volume in the lungs decreases due to number one, relaxation of the inspiratory muscles. So the diaphragm relaxes, pushes back like a dome shape. And the external intercostal muscles relax, drop the cage, drop the ribs. Okay? So number one, relaxation of the inspiratory muscles. Number two, recoiling of the elastic fibers already existing in the lung tissue. So inherited there. So you have a lot of elastic tissue. If we do not stretch them, they have a tendency to just recoil back. Okay. Number three, inward pulling force in each alveolus. So I said alveolus is like a balloon. And especially you have a little bit of water film along the wall. And they have an inward pulling force. So if we don't have the pressure and air to support them, they intend to collapse. So this is the question. Number 15. I use this as example. You also need to know kind of reversed. So when the alveoli pressure becomes lower than the outside pressure, air flows in. When the alveolar pressure becomes higher than the atmospheric pressure, air pushes out. So you need to just understand all the concepts. Okay. 16 is easy. Just read through the definition. There is a definition. Then you pick A, B, C, D. Pulmonary ventilation, external, internal, and also the cellular respiration. Okay. Digestive system, including the blood vessels, total of 22 questions. And this the hepatic portal vein, and also the what kind of vein we already go over many times. So here, okay, and this is one more time drawing the picture. Liver receives two sources of blood: hepatic artery with oxygen, hepatic portal vein, low oxygen, high nutrients. And what blood vessels leave liver? Hepatic vein. At this point, hepatic vein, low oxygen, low nutrients. So everything is already processed. So two get in and one out. Then, okay, the question is this. What makes your hepatic portal vein? Three veins. I always ask you hepatic portal vein on the left practical. I always ask you three of those branches hepatic portal vein on the left practical. Okay. So splenic vein, superior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein. So they all carry nutrients to the liver. Okay? And now also answer your question, what veins have a low oxygen nutrients? Hepatic portal and also the three branches to the hepatic portal. So this whole picture here, they have high nutrients, low oxygen. So on the model, they have all different color. So if you look at the model, they never blue colored. Any model, they use the pink color, beige color, purple color. They never use blue color. So because they are different from ordinary veins. Okay. So know the pathway of the GI tract, I don't think anybody will get that wrong. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, 3 segments, small intestine, and the cecum, and the colon, ascending, So you need to know. And also number 5, and know the name of the 6 activities and the differences between the mechanical digestion and also the chemical digestion. One no enzyme, one has the enzyme. 4 layers of the GI tract, mainly the order: innermost mucosa, next one submucosa. For each one, there may be one small sentence, such as the mucosa has like the lining epithelium, and some mucosa is more connective tissue with blood vessel and glands. Okay, and then the 3rd layer is a muscularis layer. The last layer, because there is more than one question here, maybe for the 4 layers. Last layer is serosa. Okay, is the part of the peritoneum, visual layer of the peritoneum. Greater omentum, you have a description there, then you pick up what is this. So greater omentum is the folds or extension or folds of the peritoneum. Okay, it's folding down from the stomach and folds back to the transverse colon. So it's attached from the greater curvature and come back to the transverse colon. So it's called a fatty apron. Also function, cushion, and protection and storage of the yellow fat. Okay, energy. Richer peritoneal organs means only the anterior portion is covered by peritoneum, not the 2 organs. You have more in the future. 2 organs now here is the kidneys and the pancreas. In the future, you may learn most part of the duodenum is richer peritoneal. You also may learn like the blood vessels, abdominal aorta, inferior vena cava, all richer peritoneal. Okay. Peristalsis, and usually students pretty good at the definition, but students forgot where does it occur. All the GI. So my definition is in the esophagus, but also can occur stomach, small, large intestine. And this is the peristalsis is called regular rhythmic smooth muscle tube contraction to push contents forward, downward, or propelling or propulsion. So that's all means the same thing. So just always push down. Okay. Function of the esophagus is just a food pass through, but you're going to see a little bit sentence wrong. Is esophagus no digestive enzyme secretion, no absorption, but it does have some secretion is mucus. And keep in mind along the GI from the esophagus even up there. So all you have a mucus. All of the goblet cells secretes mucus for the protection. So along the GI, you always have this mucus protein on the surface for protection. Okay. Functions of the stomach, I already emphasized digestion, the churning movement. So it's basically push forward, push backward. So it's a digestion and the mixing and the temporal storage, very limited absorption. So basically, if you see anything says absorption of the glucose, absorption of the lipids, absorption of the amino acids or small peptides, any nutrients absorption is false. Stomach does not absorb any of that except alcohol and aspirin. One question about the production from the 4 gastric gland cells: mucus cells, chief cells, parietal cells, G cells. So you need to know one cells secretes what products. So I really already emphasized there, but you also need to know, just in case you have all the mixed there, so you have the correct answer. Okay. Pancreas function endocrine, secretes hormones, regulate blood sugar. Exocrine secretes the enzyme and the pancreatic juice. Okay, if you are clear about the lab practical, you also see the pancreas is basically held up by the duodenum. So you have the pancreas structure, always 3 parts. So it's kind of another mixed question. Has a head, tail, and a body, okay, and the functions. Main pancreatic duct empty into, so main pancreatic duct and the bile duct, they join together to form the ampulla of Vater, empty always into the duodenum. And the pancreatic juice, after stomach, just keep in mind, after stomach, small intestine secretion, bile secretion, pancreatic juice, they are all alkaline because they need to neutralize acidic kind from the stomach. One question on the bile flow, starting with the bile capillary or bile canaliculi. So those are small bile ducts. Merge the next step, bile ducts, hundreds, thousands, 600,000 about. Then merge it into hepatic duct, right, left, common hepatic duct, so forth. So you need to know the pathway, and you have the structures 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, E. So know the pathway. What make up the portal tract? Let me ask you yes or no. So what is in the portal tract? A branch of hepatic portal vein. Yes. A branch of hepatic artery. A branch of hepatic vein. No. And a bile duct. Yes. Okay, so that is the kind of question I already gave you. Functions of the liver, I already said storage, B12, vitamin A, D, K, minerals, and also detoxification and remove the toxins from the drugs, hormone, waste product, processing, metabolism of the carbohydrates, protein, and the lipids, production of the bile. So which cell and which organ produce bile? Hepatocytes and the liver organ produce the bile. The liver does not secrete or does not produce any digestive enzymes. So no amylase, no lipase, no other enzymes for protein like a pepsin and a trypsin. So no any digestive enzymes. And also another is related to your future. Liver makes tons of the plasma protein, but the liver does not make antibody proteins in the blood. Okay. Organs stores and concentrates bile, gallbladder, very easy one. Sphincter of Oddi, and you just briefly reading there, it's like a sphincter of Oddi control the flow of the bile and the pancreatic juice into the duodenum. Okay, so read about that paragraph. I don't remember exactly the question coming from, or maybe I did. I don't. So just read it there. Okay, a little bit there. And the small intestine, digestion, absorption is the 3 primary. So that is a composite question. So the primary organ for digestion, absorption, small intestine, 3 segments. Which one longest, which one shortest, you are should know. Okay. What structures increases surface area? Circular folds, villi, microvilli. And if there is a mixed question, you may see the word lacteal, L-A-T-E-A-L. Lacteal in the villus, the function is absorption of the lipids. So any nutrients will go to the blood capillary. Only the lipids, they are too big to go to the blood capillary. They go to the lacteal, okay, lymphatic capillaries. So this is basically all the lecture questions. And the lab questions here. For lab question, I told the last group already. On the digestive system there, the model, I do not ask you mesocolon mesentery anymore, because I'm not so sure mesocolon on the model anymore. So no mesocolon, no mesentery. Also, I can cross out your flexures. This is question is kind of really useful for your future. You go to the ultrasound, nuclear medicine program, and you also working in the GI like endoscopy. But the fracture, like right colli fracture, when I ask questions, students always ask me, what do you mean? Okay, I put there the answer, ascending colon, transverse colon. I have to specifically ask this curve from there to there. That is the fracture. So you can cross out the fractures. Are we good? Yeah. So basically, I asked a lot of questions. Just these models, 46 questions, 45 points. Good. So let me take half of the class, to the cadaver room and show you. And that one also shows you really good. You can enhance your knowledge about the mesentery and the mesocolon and the pancreas, stomach, and the spleen all there. So I'm taking you half of the class there, and the other half class